afternoon, East Alabama and West Georgia. Dr. Don back in here with you with severe weather coverage on your Thursday afternoon. It is 2:03 p.m. Central on December 30th, 2021, as we continue to watch a very, very stubborn line of showers and thunderstorms. It just won't go away. It has pushed further south, just as we thought that it would. But we've got more severe weather to talk about here. First, let me tell you about two severe thunderstorm warnings that have just been issued by the National Weather Service. One of them is going to be for southeastern Chambers County. This will be in effect for another 11 minutes or so. 60-mile-per-hour wind gust and hail up to 1 inch in diameter, and that hail has already been confirmed. We do have hail down there in southeastern Chambers County. We'll dive a little deeper into that in just a minute. And then back down to the south, downstream from that storm, on the western side of Lee County, just west of Auburn, we have another severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect for another 10 minutes or so. Same deal here. We have 60-mile-per-hour straight-line winds right there around Notasulga, and some hail up to around 1.25 inches in diameter. Now, folks, this is big enough to cause some issues for your automobiles and your rooftops and that sort of thing. So be real careful. Don't get caught out in one of these hailstorms. These storms are growing pretty big this afternoon. They're getting up there around 30 to 40,000 feet, where the atmosphere is much colder, and that's why we're seeing the hail output this afternoon. And, of course, when you have hailstones of that size, the friction in the atmosphere is just through the roof, so that's why you're seeing the lightning output that is being displayed here on our Southern Union State Community College Live Doppler HD radar. Well, look, 240 lightning strikes in the last 2 to 3 minutes between these two storms. That one down there in southeastern Chambers County, and then the one over here in western Lee. Almost 250 lightning. Well, actually, it's gone up to 260 now, just in the last couple of minutes. That is a tremendous amount of lightning. Let me back out, show you the big picture. This is East Alabama, Central Alabama. The line of thunderstorms basically stretching from Atlanta down to around Griffin, South Metro, and then it curves back to the southwest, down into southeastern Chambers County, back over to western Lee, down into Montgomery. We have a severe thunderstorm warning down there for southern Montgomery as well. And then more heavy storms down there around Thomasville in southwest Alabama. Heavy thunderstorm down there around Troy, down in Pike County. We have a severe thunderstorm warning for that storm also. Over in Georgia, multiple severe thunderstorm warnings this afternoon. One just west of Sandersville. We have another one down there just south of Macon, right along I-16 between Macon and Dublin. And then we have tornado warned severe thunderstorm down south of Tifton. It's going to cross over I-75 there, south of Tifton and north of Valdosta. Possible tornado involved in that storm down there. All right, so let's go back up and let's take a look at the Chambers County storm. And then we'll go look at the Lee County storm. So southern Troup County, you're not involved in the warning, but you do have a hail core there just south of LaGrange between I-85 and I-185. And that's going to continue moving off to the east. That should stay in Troup County. Now, you folks down here in Harris County, heads up for you, because this stuff over here in southeast Chambers County is coming directly at you. Hamilton, Pine Mountain, you need to take the precautionary measures now, because you've got a pretty good sized hailstorm that's moving in your general direction. Also, some gusty winds up to 60 miles per hour are certainly possible with this storm. Let's go a little bit deeper here in Chambers County. Let's look at Valley, Alabama. You've got a significant hailstorm right on top of you. So we are talking about hail up to 1 inch in diameter there just south of Shawmut, right over the city of Valley. And that stretches a pretty good distance there on down to the south, and is going to be moving across the Chattahoochee River into Harris County, Georgia. As a matter of fact, we're showing the hail core now in that last volume scan from Highway 103 over in Harris County all the way back to the west side of downtown Valley, almost all the way back to I-85. So that's a pretty wide area to be having hail fall down there this afternoon. Now let's, Lynette, you're probably just a shade bit north of where the heaviest part of this storm is now. It is raining big time in downtown Lynette, West Point, but the hail shaft is going to stay, I think, a little bit south of you. Let me see if we can run a cone on this. Yes. So we're talking Valley right now. We'll be over there in the Hamilton area by about 2:30 this afternoon. Pine Mountain around 2:38. Those are Central Time, so add an hour to it for the Eastern Time Zone. Around 3:50 p.m. for Shiloh. Warm Springs around 3:53 this afternoon, and Manchester around 3:57 for this storm. So we go down to Lee County. We have multiple severe thunderstorm warnings down here. Now we have a brand new one, and I'll just read this to you. Severe thunderstorm warning for northeastern Lee County and east central Alabama until 2:45 this afternoon. At 2:08 p.m., a severe thunderstorm was located over Auburn University, or over Auburn, the city, moving to the east at around 40 miles per hour. The hazard with this storm is ping pong ball size hail and 60 mile per hour wind gusts. So this storm will impact Auburn, Opelika, Beulah, Beauregard, Beans Mill, Auburn University, and points to the east. That's for Lee County. I'll read you the one for Chambers while we are here. It's set to expire in about 4 minutes, and I think most of the hail has already crossed over the Chattahoochee River, so they're going to let that severe thunderstorm warning for Chambers County expire here in about 4 minutes, so we won't even worry about that. Let's look at the other severe thunderstorm warning. This is a severe thunderstorm warning which remains in effect until 2:15, so only about 3 or 4 more minutes now for northwestern Lee County and northeastern Macon and south central Tallapoosa counties of east central Alabama. That's for that area that you see right there just north of I-85 where all the hail is. That is going to continue moving off to the east. Most of that, well, all of that now is out of Tallapoosa County. So Tallapoosa, you're pretty much in the clear from the hail. Northern Macon County and western Lee is going to be the area of concern with this particular storm. And I think it stays a little bit south of downtown Auburn as it moves off to the east this afternoon. So I don't think we're looking at a 1-2 punch for Auburn, Opelika with these storms this afternoon. You're dealing with one now that's coming out of Chambers County, sliding over into Harris County, and then we have this one that's over there in the western part of Lee County that will affect Auburn and probably will affect Opelika as well. Beauregard, you're going to get some of this also. So if you're in Auburn, it looks like the heaviest part of this hail core is going to move right over maybe downtown Auburn and to the points north. Now, if you're south of downtown Auburn, you're going to get some of this also, but I think the majority of it's going to move over downtown and just to the north of downtown Auburn. I-85, a complete washout. Really, look at that. I can't find the end of it. I-85 is a washout from Atlanta, Georgia, all the way to Montgomery, Alabama. I mean, just a nasty afternoon to be driving down there on I-85. And let's go on down there to the Montgomery area because we do have several folks in our Central Alabama weather group that watch our live coverage. So this is primarily out there on the east side of Montgomery. And it stretches back down to the south and southwest, down south of Montgomery. Pretty good hail core down there just to the east of Hayneville, down there south of Montgomery. Basically crossing over I-65, just south of 80. and that will continue moving off the east. It'll cross over 331 down there around Highland Home, south of Montgomery. And then real quickly down here in Pike County, Alabama, this is the University of Troy down here in the Troy area. It's east of Luverne, north of Arrington. And hang on a second, let me get my... around Brundage right now is where the storm's at, and that's going to continue moving off to the east as well. A pretty good hail core right there. Also, Louisville, Clio, Banks, to the southwest of Clayton, Alabama. A lot of folks know where that's at. Severe thunderstorm warning there. And so that's what we're looking at this afternoon, just a complete washout there southwest of Atlanta, all the way back down into Troup and Harris, down into Chambers County, Lee County, then into northern Macon, southern Tallapoosa, and then back into Elmore and Montgomery County there. So let's keep it right there so you can see what's happening in real time. And I'm going to go up here and take a look at the chat room and see if anybody has any questions. These storms are moving to the east, and the entire line is sinking to the southeast very slowly. Now, this line is going to stall out at some point. And I've been telling you that all day long. We felt like it would stall out somewhere around I-85, so it could stop at any moment. And that's pretty much where it's going to stay for the remainder of the night. Now, as we lose the heating of the day, the storms will calm down a good bit. And I think as we go through the overnight, we probably won't see much of severe weather. We may certainly see showers and thunder showers all night, just as we did just north of this area last night. We're talking Chilton, Shelby, back over toward Coosa, Tallapoosa, Clay, northern Tallapoosa, Randolph, Chambers, Cleburne. It just rained all night long last night and well into this morning. And I think that's what we're going to be looking at tonight along the I-85 corridor, maybe even down into the Columbus area before this thing stops sliding to the south. And then we'll lose the heating of the day. These storms will calm down. And then on Friday, this entire area is going to start lifting back north as a warm front. And as the heating of the day gets going, we may see these showers and thunderstorms redevelop tomorrow morning. Back across East Alabama again, just like we saw last night into this morning, and just like we're seeing down there around the I-85 corridor this afternoon. But then it's going to lift back to the north, I think, a little bit quicker. And maybe by tomorrow afternoon, it'll be along I-20 or to the points north of there. I think north of I-20 stands the best chance of seeing severe weather tomorrow afternoon. And, so then we get into Saturday. Here comes the main cold front Saturday and wash all this stuff out of here. But there is a significant risk of severe weather. There's going to be more of a risk of severe weather on Saturday than we saw yesterday, last night, or today. So we got a long way to go before we finally get all this out of here. And so we talked about the possibilities of a few snowflakes earlier this morning. If that were to happen, that would be on Sunday night into Monday as the moisture pulls away and the cold air comes funneling in. And I'll have to tell you, I've seen a couple of models this afternoon, a couple of the more respected models, now beginning to suggest that we could see a decent little snow from about I-20 north in Alabama and Georgia. And when I say decent, I'm talking about maybe a dusting. That would be decent this time of year because the ground's just too warm. And then maybe some flurries on down into East Alabama and West Georgia as well, because we're going into the mid to low 20s on Sunday night into early Monday morning. Just depends on how much moisture is left around when the cold air comes filtering in late Sunday afternoon into Sunday night. But it won't be a big deal. It's not going to cause any travel problems if it happens at all. So we'll keep an eye on that for you. Pine Mountain, Georgia. Hey, Debbie, you guys need to be prepared for a pretty decent little hailstorm that is currently right there along I-185 in northern Harris County. This is going to be, let me mark this right quick. All right, there's Hopewell Church Road. You folks are familiar with this area. You know where that's at. So that's where the heavy hail is right now. And that's going to move off to the east and to the northeast. There's State Route 219. This is where you turn to go. You can turn to go back toward West Point right there. And that's where the heavy hail is falling at the moment. There's Hawks Road. There's State Route 116, State Route 103. This is off of I-185 down in Harris County. And so that's moving to the east. Now, Pine Mountain is up here. North of Hamilton, and this entire area is moving in your general direction. So Pine Mountain, you have a severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect until 2:45 Central, 3:45 Eastern for Harris County. For this storm that's moving to the east-northeast at around 41 miles per hour. Maximum sized hail should be somewhere around 3/4 of an inch. Weather Service says it's a little bit under that. But there could be some pockets of heavier hail involved in this storm as well. So if you're up here in Pine Mountain, be prepared for that and take cover if you start to see this heavy hail move into your area. Going to zoom back out, and we're going to go back down here and look at this Lee County storm again, because it is really throwing down some lightning right now. And this is going to be basically from Opelika back to Auburn and then south. So this southern part of this storm has really intensified since the last couple of volume scans. So you folks in Beauregard, be prepared. You got a pretty heavy storm just to your west, and it is containing some pretty significant hail there. I think that is a little overdone. But the computer algorithm is telling us a 100% chance of hail and a 100% chance of severe hail. And it's depicting the size as 2 1/4 inches. I don't think we're looking at anything that significant, but, you know, if we're approaching 1 inch sized hail, that is significant, and it certainly could cause some roof damage, could cause some automobile damage. Also, maybe some gusty winds up to 50, 60 miles per hour as this line of storms moves through as well. Downstream, Bleecker, Salem, back over towards Smith Station. You want to be prepared for this. I mean, even down toward Phoenix City and Columbus, the extreme southern tip of this may make it into Phoenix City and Columbus area when it gets over there around the Chattahoochee River. And then even below that storm, we have that one coming out of East Montgomery, a pretty good sized storm right there. It's shorter. It'll be south of I-85, so that's going to work on over toward the Columbus area as well. And then we have that severe thunderstorm warning just south of Montgomery. Probably going to eventually affect Union Springs, Hurtsboro, And back over toward Casita. That's the Casita below Columbus, not the one up in Chambers County. So there you go. Severe thunderstorm watch in effect now for parts of central and east Alabama until 8 p.m. Central, and a good chunk of middle Georgia back over into east Georgia and even southwest South Carolina in effect until 9 o'clock Eastern this evening. Elizabeth's asking a question about driving from Roanoke to Florida. Well, I don't know exactly. Let's see. Yeah, so I would let this line calm down a little bit, the one that's lined up from Montgomery all the way to Atlanta, because that's got I-85 just completely covered up. I mean, unless you're going to leave Roanoke and, go Highway 22 all the way over to Clanton and then come down that way, you would avoid it. But you pretty much cannot get to Florida without getting on I-85 at some point, or at least driving through all of this. I would let this calm down a little bit before I got on the road. There's no problems in Roanoke. Things are clearing up pretty good up there in Randolph County. Clay County is completely clear. But you got to drive through all this to get south. So the safest thing to do in the course of least regret would be to let this stuff calm down a little bit, because we're literally getting severe thunderstorm warnings for every piece of this line now. So when we started this just a few minutes ago, we had 2 severe thunderstorm warnings. Now we have 1, 2, 3, we have 4 severe thunderstorm warnings. Understand this air down here in southeast Alabama and east central Alabama, west Georgia, is very juicy this afternoon. They've had some sunshine. Things have warmed up. And now that this line is beginning to work into that more unstable air, it's becoming pretty juicy. And we're seeing some pretty good thunderstorms. I think the big threat here is going to be the straight line winds. And some of these storms are getting up there around 45, 50,000 feet. And that's pretty significant. So the tops of these storms are getting up there in the levels of the atmosphere where it's really cold. And so we're getting these hailstorms this afternoon. So I want to turn on the latest satellite. And you can see there are breaks in the clouds down here. So we do have some sunshine making it through. I mean, like down here north of Eufaula. All the way back over to Americus, Georgia, we see some sunshine making it through. That's heating up the surface. So when this line gets down into that area, assuming it makes it that far south and east, then it's just going to fuel this line of thunderstorms as it moves off to the east. And then as we look north of this, we're clearing up nicely over in West Alabama. I mean, we're talking full-blown sunshine in Tuscaloosa. And then Centerville Brent, who just got pounded all night long last night. A few high-level clouds around, but some sunshine there. Sun breaking out now in Clanton. We have some broken clouds in parts of Talladega County up there around Talladega. And maybe even some broken clouds there in Clay County. Certainly no precipitation in Clay at this time. So let's take a look at the severe thunderstorm warnings again. We'll start over here in Georgia, and then we'll work our way back down the line, back to the southwest. This is a severe thunderstorm warning for southwestern Meriwether County in west central Georgia, southeastern Troup County in west Georgia, and northern Harris County in west central Georgia. This warning is in effect until 3:45 p.m. Eastern. A severe thunderstorm was located near Riverview or near Valley. Now, understand this was a few minutes ago, moving east at around 40 miles per hour. This storm is now located near Hamilton. And this severe thunderstorm warning will remain in effect for about another 16 minutes for the possibility of damaging straight-line winds in excess of 60 miles per hour and some damaging large hail around 3/4 of an inch in diameter. So we'll come on back down the line. We'll go over to the Lee County storm. This is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 2:45 p.m. this afternoon, about another 16 minutes for the possibility of 60-mile-per-hour winds and hail up to 1.5 inches in diameter. And this is primarily going to be a severe thunderstorm warning for Lee County in east central Alabama. And then we go a little bit further to the south. We have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning down here. This is going to be for the Tuskegee area. So this is going to be for Macon County in southeast Alabama. This severe thunderstorm warning is in effect until 3 o'clock central this afternoon. And again, we're looking at 60-mile-per-hour straight-line winds and hail in excess of 1.25 inches with that particular storm. And then down here south of Montgomery, this will be our last look here at this storm. This is a severe, this one actually, let's see, have they just canceled that one? No, they canceled it for Lowndes County, but it remains in effect for central Montgomery County, south central Montgomery County, and that is going to remain in effect for another 15 minutes. And this is approaching the intersection right there of Highway 82 and Highway 53 down there in southeast Montgomery County. And so if it continues, you folks over here in Union Springs will have to deal with that one here in a little bit. So that's what we're looking at right now, folks. Most of these storms are kind of getting out of our coverage area, so we're going to continue to watch it real close. If we were to get any reports of any damage, or if we were to see things upgraded, of course, we'll come right back and give you the latest weather information. So you've been watching severe weather coverage on Dr. Don's Weather, the Southern Union State Community College Live Doppler HD radar. We'll watch this stuff for you offline, and we'll bring you more coverage if conditions warrant here on Dr. Don's Weather. Enjoy the remainder of your afternoon.